Hello. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Someone walked in and saw everything, and maybe that's just a little awkward, whatever it may be. But let me go ahead and put the stuff inside of my car. Okay. So what is specifically the point of this video? I think that's the most important part that I need to actually establish. And give me a second putting things up. Let me try and start and make it a lot more simple from now on, so this doesn't end up an hour. But when it comes to... Okay, wait. Give me a second. Transition! Hey, are you tired of your government deciding that illegal immigrants are incredibly immoral and that they shouldn't be inside of our country, even though the people that are running it are literally pedophiles? Well, guess what? I am too. So then, you might ask me, what exactly can we do about something like this? The answer to that is fuck all. I really don't know. But you know what we can do? Use our... Is it the First Amendment? First Amendment right. Freedom of speech. Fuck guys.
If you're a bitch ass nigga that believes that immigrants are automatically a net negative all because they are illegal, which doesn't make any sense as the system created practically traps them in this predicament, and you therefore believe they should be removed from our country, kill yourself.
Okay, yeah, recently, I started picking up this whole skateboarding thing, which is also pretty fire, pretty awesome. What does that have to do with the video? I don't really know, but let me go ahead and actually start speaking on it. But ever since a young age for me, I feel like I've been fairly emotionally intelligent. Not in the sense of knowing everything, obviously, but knowing enough about myself and not needing others to validate that in any particular way. So therefore, when it comes to situations like needing other... Dang, y'all niggas is getting blinded. Needing other people and connection, I've never felt that way. I will tell you, I have grown up with a brother and uncle. I have a pretty loving family, especially, from the beginning of my life. And I don't really have much that I can complain about. I could, but many people have it much worse than me. So what am I to say? But all of that to say, within the most recent times, I remember coming into this job and thinking that I didn't really care to interact with others. I didn't care to speak with other people or create those friends, but somehow, eventually, I always end up in the scenario that is dealing and talking with people. And I don't know, I do know, because through certain events in my life, and being one of 3 children, and my sister living with us until she was 34, and my mom trying to very much connect with that relationship, I will say that I was neglected in some way. That I took a lot of time inside my room in my lonesome playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Naruto Storm 4 and Black Ops 3, which is actually the greatest Call of Duty, personally. Actually, you know what? That's not even personally. I think Black Ops 3 is just the greatest Call of Duty. Look at all that traffic. That's probably going to be really loud for the video. All these niggas out. Someone is walking their dog. So many niggas out. It's so dark. But I think that created a remedy for me to get used to solitude. The feeling of not really needing anyone. That I didn't necessarily have a feeling of wanting this human connection. That the human connection that I did have. I used to play solo on games. I did not play game like nigga. When it came to Roblox, it was me, myself, and I. I didn't have friends that I played with. I didn't have family members that I played with. I didn't, it was none of that. Although I did hang out with my brother and his friends at times, that was obviously awesome sauce. And I always cherished that. But that was very separate. my brain is very specific. The relationship that I have with my brother will not translate to anything else outside of that relationship. The same thing with my mother. I've had problems with my mother growing up. She's a very amazing mother. But even that relationship, when it had its issues, all those issues specifically rely on just my mother. That's it. It doesn't translate to anyone else. But through growing up and living in that solitude and now looking back on it, I never truly had friends in real life. I probably had one. And now there are some childhood friends, but I think the general most of my friendships were fairly superficial. I never felt that I was chosen. I never felt like someone was my friend, and particularly my friend, and wanted a human connection with me because the human connection was with me. I feel like maybe it would have been out of convenience. Maybe it was just easy to make friends with me, and at the time it was someone easy to speak with. I was never someone to get invited to places. I was never someone who would ever even be thought of. I mean, I remember giving out an invitation for my birthday to all these people who I would consider my friends, and not a single human being even showing up. Sorry, give me a second. I have to change the music in my ear. Okay, it was done. So, with that being said, and me speaking, I remember none of them showing up but one person. And I feel like out of all those 10, and I feel like I'm just rambling, but that's been the consensus. And I really do think that it is genuinely how my brain has interacted with most connections that I've had so far. I don't think that I've ever wanted that connection with people outside of obviously the family that I had, which was cool. And even if those connections ran out, it was kind of whatever. I had other things to do, get on my computer and enjoy my time. So I hope this makes sense and this could connect. Fast forward, now we get to last year, or realistically the end of 2024 going into 2025, and I get this job at this hospital. And I wasn't going to interact with people. But I think growing up, I thought that I was an introvert. Then I started having to work because niggas got an adult. And I realized that I love talking to people, that I love making connections. It's just my brain is so fed into the idea that I don't need it or want it. And I think that's still absolutely a thing, and I don't have an issue with that. But it awakens something in me. And I do want to talk about this in a video for February. But a nigga ended up falling in love for the first time. Now, previously, I actually do think that I ended up at least developing very strong feelings that would resemble love for another girl previously. But the difference is, like with every relationship that I'm going to speak on now, I don't think that any of those relationships, is it too loud? Let me take a right. I don't think that any of those relationships have ever been reciprocated. Not in the way that I would want to, and not in the way that most people would deem healthy. I feel like most of the time I just give. I allow people to, sorry, give me a second. I've allowed people to go ahead and necessarily take advantage of it multiple times, and I just kind of let that be. Sense that with most relationships, friendships, whatever it may be, I give, and I continuously give, because I mean, I was born into a Christian household, specifically my dad, really, and then everybody else followed suit, at least as of now. But it's not even that. I think those values are very beautiful, but I also think that's just a part of who I am, that I should give. I shouldn't give with the idea of wanting back, or at least not wanting, but needing back. That giving without needing something in return. And that's actually never been a problem for me. You know, with that one girl, I mean, it sucked because I gave and they would act as if like, oh my gosh, you know, not act, they'd be like, you're so amazing, you're such a cool person, etc., blah, blah, blah. And then not treat me that way, you know? And eventually what happens with her after 3 years of being my best friend, quote unquote, she met a nigga after a week and love made her stop talking to me. But you know, with that specific situation, she told me, you know, she ghosted me for like a month, you know, things happen. But by that point, I really didn't care. I was just living my life. And I forgot because I was like, she's in college. She does her own thing. No, she was purposely ghosting me. I give people the benefit of the doubt. But she at least told me. And she was like, hey, you know, nigga says he doesn't want me being friends with you. I'm like, hey, you know what? If that's your life, that's your choice. And then I remember thinking back on that because in her final text, which maybe I have it on the screen, but she was like, she literally talked, thank you for being my best friend for 3 years. And then just boom, just gone. And it's like, you really traded 3 years for whatever it was. So fast forward, I get to this hospital job and I end up meeting this one girl. Another Latina. They just can't stop rummaging my mind, nigga. Lord. They talk about snow bunny mind control. What is this Latina like bean soup? Or what, or horchata? Like, I just don't know. But I get there and I remember the first day where I thought that maybe I liked this girl, and for the first time in my life I felt that somebody liked me back, and it made my heart sink. I was afraid. I was like, am I ready for something like this? Am I ready to be a boyfriend or something like that? I've never imagined myself in that position. If I'm being honest, in my entire life I've always imagined myself alone, in the sense of like, I just would be content. I wouldn't have realistically like anybody, not in that sense that is so alone, but in the sense of like, I wouldn't have any partner, because that's just how it would be. That's just what it is for someone like me. And for the first time, I finally had to like correct this in my brain, that maybe I had these possibilities and these chances, and it opened up this neural pathway in my mind for human connection. And it's so crazy. And eventually what happens is I end up making all of these connections at this job, and then all these people, I promise you, literally every single person, all women by the way, you know, I'm not a gender hater, trust me, I hate the gender wars, but I'm just saying there is a pattern here. All told me, Seth, you're one of the greatest people I met, you're so different, etc., blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, quote unquote, I'm so glad that I met you. I specifically hate those words. I used to love them, but now I don't hate them, but I do. My brain hits a sleeper agent when I hear them. Like, reason being is, where are any of those people now? I don't know. That's literally the answer. I genuinely don't know. I don't know where a single one of those people are at. Every single one of those people saying words like I love you and etc., which those are words that I don't use sparingly at all. I use those words very specifically because I would never lie to someone, you know. But where are those people? And I don't know. And that all segues into my point, in the reason of recently I finally started to think back. And I used to always reflect, but reflecting is much different now because I fell in love with one of these girls and now they are no longer here. And this is different from the first girl after 3 years, because this was maybe like 6 months, and it was very impactful. I think in my life, all of the connections that I had have been two things. One, that I've never integrated them because they've never truly been that impactful in my life. Or two, they were impactful in at least some way, but they were gone and it was proper. But they never truly gave me anything. Because even in those 3 years, that one girl never actually genuinely treated me in any way that I treated her, or even as a good friend. She was actually a very bad friend. All that to say that this last girl, most recently, did. It was weird. It was my first time feeling like somebody chose me. Like somebody wanted me to be there or wanted to interact with me because they wanted to interact with me. Not because of the things that I gave them. Not that they were asking of anything. But when they wanted to go places and they wanted to do things, or when they woke up, they texted me because they thought of me. Not because I texted them or I thought of them. Not because they felt like they were obligated, but because they wanted to. And I feel like that was definitely the first time ever to experience that. For someone to use their money and get me a birthday gift and spend their money and do all these things just because they wanted to. I don't think I've ever experienced that ever. Really, realistically. And this person ends up just disappearing. Practically without a word. There were some words, but definitely not the way that it should have been. And that blew my mind in general. Not that it couldn't happen, but in the fact of like, it threw off my brain chemistry. I had interacted with this person. I had been treated in a way that was fairly well and made me feel like someone, at least one person in my life, like it made me feel, if I were to die right now, there's not my mother, because she's fairly emotional, outside of my mother, there's not a single person that I think in this world that it would truly detriment. I do not think that my life holds that much weight to people or others. I don't think people have treated me specifically in that way. You know, and that's just real life. That's just what it is. But this person made me feel that way. It made me feel like I had a genuine connection with somebody. And it was deeper than most. All that to segue into, how do I feel about that after all this time? What does love turn into when you look back and you realize that people have done you in incorrect ways, in wrong ways, in ways that would be unfavorable? A lot of the times it turns into hate. It turns into disdain. It turns into pain. And that's all you can think of. It turns into all these negatives. And the amount of emotions that I felt from all of this, thinking back, not just her, but all of it, to the girl before with the 3 years, whatever it may be, to the one girl that was there that ended up dating a nigga that was like 40 years old. I'm literally not joking. He was in our thing. She was like, she was being my friend, whatever it was. She was freshly 19. This nigga was 40. And she chose that over what we had. By the way, that nigga wasn't even a good nigga, by the way. I had to give tips on how to baby the 40-year-old nigga. And still in the end, you know, they chose what it was. The other girl just ended up ghosting me. And there was another girl that also was like, oh, my bad, and then ghost me, you know, whatever it is. And then the one girl who I had the true connection with ghosted me. But that situation is a lot more different than the others. And I look back on it and I think, and I started to feel really negative emotions. I've never hated somebody in my life. No, I hated my mom for like a day. I felt disdain. True hate. That was it. That's the most I've ever hated somebody. But I feel this sink in my stomach. And I think that that's also a pit of loneliness. I think it's the first time in my life I've ever actually felt lonely. Because throughout my entire life, I never felt like I needed or even fit a romantic partner for anybody. But eventually, I ended up getting that, feeling like I was wanted by somebody, and therefore wanting someone in return, that it was reciprocated in some way. And to have that ripped away, now it feels like my brain wants that again. And throughout that, because of wanting that again, now it feels like it's turned into, there's two white niggas walking by, watch out. ICE wouldn't pick them up. But with that loneliness, it started to turn into possibly hate. There are times where I sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like maybe she deserves something bad. I remember one time we were on FaceTime and she asked me, do you think I'm gonna get karma? And this is because she obviously had her mental issues, and we spoke about the whole ghosting before it even happened, because she said that's something that apparently she normally does. Now, you know, whatever it is, right? And I remember saying no, because, you know, if karma was real, one, this wouldn't have even happened to me, because I've never done any bad to anybody. I genuinely cannot think. Have I been rude before? Yes, I have. But I've never genuinely caused anyone pain beyond 5 seconds of their lifespan. And that I have not apologized for if I knew better. And that is also another part of it. In that, why do I deserve that? How can I not feel disdain or some type of negative emotion to have something given to me and then ripped away? As someone who gives and gives and gives to other people, and I try, and you know, you never receive anything back, that's a lot easier because it's expected. It's easy to give something away. It's like, imagine making a cake. You know the recipe to this cake, and you give some away, and then boom, you just have to make more cake. But imagine someone gives you this cookie. Not pussy, cookie. Chocolate chip, sugar cookie, whatever. And you take a bite, and it's one of the most amazing things in your life. And every Friday, you go and you pick one up, and then one day, it just ceases to exist. That's something that you can't replenish. That's not something you could just make again. Maybe you could find another cookie, who knows? You never know. People would say, well, there's just another cookie out there, you know, just find another cookie. But is that easy to say to someone who's looking for a specific cookie, who felt that cookie? Yeah, sure, just go find a different cookie, whatever it may be. But it's a lot more different than that. So how do you not feel the pain and disdain because of that? And I think that divulges in my head in how I think of people and human beings in general, in how they can be so selfish, how they can be so broken, and they can be so hurt, and they have their traumas and etc., and they press them on other people. And in so many videos, I talk about how it's beautiful that people are so flawed, and that you can always become a better person, and that these problems make you who you are, and it's okay to accept them and to do better. And I still believe that. But also, there's a deepness in my core that hates humans for what they are. Because why? I've never done anything like that to anybody. I've never interacted with people in that way that would make them feel that way, because I just know better. But some people don't know better. And that's the clash in my mind. That this love and etc. that you have with people, and these connections that you make with people, that you do have to take, and you just have to learn, and you have to integrate them in your lives. You can't just throw them away, whether they're good connections or they're bad connections. You can't dismiss your emotions. You have to take it in and you have to absorb it so that you can do better. And in doing that, I feel so much hate. Because why did that have to happen? Why did this interaction have to occur in which it pains me so? Why does it have to continue and keep on happening? And why can't I just interact with people and it be normal? Why can't I just have the connection with others? Why do people have to feel like it's a diss towards me in whatever it may be? And it accumulates in my brain. And I start to sit in my room and I ruminate. And then that rumination turns into hatred for the entire human race. And it's like, oh my God, people just suck. It is dick, balls, cock, doodle, garbage, and more. But I know that in the deepness of my heart that is incorrect. That that's not the right way to think. And that's not how I should feel. And that's not how that I should interact with others. And I should continue giving people a chance. And that even with her, in the interaction that I had, I remember in this car, and talking, and saying like, you know, if you were to disappear, I won't let that turn me into a worse person. You know, the conversation was always, well, why don't I just, you know, disappear now so that it doesn't hurt more later? And your nigga was already deep in, so it really didn't matter. I was deep in. The cookie, I was smelling the cookie. But that was because that there is no pain without love. And there is no love without pain. Pain happens because you adore something so. And whatever negative thing occurs, therefore, that much love that you have for it, the pain will be even greater. But that's what it is. All this pain that I feel now is nothing but a showcase of how much I genuinely loved and poured into someone. And it's a double-edged sword of genuine beauty. I wouldn't say that I'm suffering. Suffering is pain with no end. This will eventually end, I hope. Allow that to turn into hate, because what does hate do but fester? It just grows, and then it stays, and it's like a poison in your mind and your body. It is not a good feeling. Why do I know? Because it's my first time in truly really feeling it, and it doesn't feel good whatsoever. It's not a part of my character. It's not who I am, because it feels like it's fighting. It feels like low-key, that was so slow, I just paused. But it feels like just not good. A lot of people will always say, like, I ask them, I always joke around and I'm like, do you hate anybody? And they'll be like, I don't have time to hate. Bitch, I have time to hate. I have time to hate. The fuck? But why choose to? Why feel that way towards somebody? All these people that I've interacted with have their own issues, have their own problems, they have their own lives. And even though I've interacted with them, I hope that they've integrated my life into theirs. With the current recent girl, probably not, because of her own issues. And I think that's what hurts most, to feel that I haven't left that imprint on somebody that I wish that I could have left. Or maybe I have, I don't know. But that's also what racks my brain, because I will never know. That's the thing with getting ghosted. It's like, damn, hey nigga, give me an answer. Give me something. But I feel like that was just a yap of death. But just don't allow all these interactions that you have with people to change who you are. Don't let negative things change you for the worse. You know what's worse. It's okay to have boundaries. After this, I'm afraid that I'm gonna do the exact same thing. There will be another person, whoever it may be, that I will probably end up simping for again. But you should have boundaries. You should be able to have people that will respect those things. That's okay. But walling yourself off, isolating yourself, allowing yourself to just feel pain, or being so afraid of other connections because you have this hate and this pain from the past, don't allow that to be what changes you. Do not hate people. If you deject or reject people, it's the same thing. You have to love people. You don't have to actively love them. You don't have to give them love. But love people and humans in the sense of the concept. Accept new connections. Accept interactions with people. Give people chances that seem worthy giving chances to. Don't sabotage yourself in both ways. Don't sabotage yourself from connection like Shawty did, because I'm really just that nigga. And don't sabotage yourself into a connection and allow yourself to be broken down as well, you know? So, my main thing, don't hate. Don't allow it to fester. Don't. Choose love, my nigga. Choose love. I don't even know if I'm going to post this. I don't know if when. I know it's not going to be before the next video, because that would seem like a cop-out. I have to edit that. This, I don't know. It just seems kind of interesting. It's like, But this was definitely a yap of death. I really do appreciate y'all, you know? As much as the inhuman, in real life connections that I have may suck, I do enjoy seeing you guys in the comment sections. Y'all empower me, make me want to do things. I don't know. I feel like I should end this, because then this may become too long. I guess it's about time, you know? Soul Eater jacket is tough, by the way. Don't know where I got it, my nigga. I don't know. I forget. For the one nigga that asked, I apologize. But I wish y'all all the best. I hope this new year has been treating you well. And let's make it a big one, yo. Who knows what's to come? Heartbreak, etc. It's almost Black History Month. I don't know how to end this off. Goodbye.